Since the release of Sonic Frontiers, the final update where they introduced Super Sonic 2 and Cyber Super Sonic, it was the first time since Sonic and the Black Knight when Sonic had a different super form than just Super Sonic. Which leads me to believe that Sega is open to introduce more super forms like they used to. And now that Sega is more interested in making the Chaos Emeralds the main focus of the franchise, it's a perfect time for them to introduce one of the most requested super forms to make its debut in video games, which also happens to be the most controversial super form out there, and that's none other than Dark Sonic. This form is pretty split between the fan base. There's one side of the fandom that absolutely loves the dark and mysterious form, but then there's also one side of the fandom that also thinks it's very overrated. But why? Dark Sonic is a form that first was introduced in the anime Sonic X and had a total of 50 seconds of screen time. But what makes this form so appealing is its mystery. So far we have barely any knowledge of this form. So far what we know is that in the Metarex saga in Sonic X, Sonic crashed into Metarex's base. He saw a bunch of fake Chaos Emeralds, which kinda gave him an uneasy feeling. Then he saw a very scared Cosmo and an unconscious Chris, and this caused the fake Chaos Emeralds to feed on Sonic's rage, turning him into Dark Sonic. Dark Sonic has two forms. One where he's kinda semi-transformed, where he gets a dark blue/purple aura around him, and his fur becomes into a deep navy midnight blue. Then he jumps out of frame. Next time we see him, he looks much more like Super Sonic, but instead his fur is black, and his skin is like a dark gray, and his pupils are completely gone. Sonic seemed more cold in this form too. When Eggman showed up, Sonic didn't seem to be in a mood to even talk to Eggman, which is already very out of character for Sonic to do, which is also caused by the negative energy of the fake Chaos Emeralds. It shows Sonic's darker side of him. Hell, even Eggman was disappointed at Sonic for letting his temper get the better of him. Now why hasn't this form made its way into canon yet? Well, it's quite simple actually. That's because Sega wanted to keep this form a one-time thing, similar to every other super form that Sonic's had throughout the years. Now, it somehow did make its way kind of into canon, and that's through Dark Spine Sonic. Let's go through the similarities. Both have white eyes with no pupils. Both are caused by hatred and sadness. Both are transformations that are caused by some kind of alternatives for the Chaos Emeralds. And that's not to mention the appearance alone. But we're not here to talk about Dark Spine Sonic. That's for a different video. Ian Flynn, the writer of the IDW comics, some of the Archie comics, the dialogue of Sonic Frontiers, and the story of Shadow Generations. He's been asked about Dark Sonic 2, and why he hasn't made his debut yet in the comics. And yet again, the answer is very simple. Ian Flynn doesn't see Dark Sonic as a real transformation, and he too wants to keep it as a one-time thing. And the only active super form he's trying to bring back is Hypersonic, which I've also made a video about, you should check it out. Now what about the controversy, and why is the fandom so split about this super form? See, the people who hate the super form don't necessarily hate the form itself, it's more like they hate the people who glaze this form. The best way to describe this super form is how people treat Red Hood from the DC comics. They both have a really cool idea and origin, but Red Hood has been so divided by the fandom that people are starting to get confused on what's canon and what's not canon. As for Red Hood, it's that he's a good written character. But for Dark Sonic, it's that it's a stronger form of Super Sonic, which it's not. Which, as we know, Dark Sonic is powered by the negative energy of the fake Chaos Emeralds. And both the fake Chaos Emeralds and the negative energy of the Chaos Emeralds are both weaker than the real Chaos Emeralds and the pure energy of them. Which has also been proven in canon in Sonic Adventure, when Perfect Chaos consumed the dark energy of the Chaos Emeralds, and of course got beat by Super Sonic. Now, what do I think of the super form? I think it's a great form. I like the idea of it, but I don't think it's better than Super Sonic, Hypersonic, Excalibur Sonic, and that's simply because we've had so little of this form. And do I think that it's ever gonna come back? Maybe at some point. I don't think anytime soon. I think Hypersonic has a better chance of coming back than Dark Sonic. I would like for it to come back, but the chance is very slim. I also like the idea of Sonic having a darker and more serious form. You know, where he's more ruthless, he doesn't hold back as much, but he still keeps his morals, of course. At the end of the day, he's Sonic. But damn, I really like stories when a pure-hearted hero has their dark ages. Like when Nightwing became Batman in 2009 all the way to 2011, Spider-Man and his symbiote arc, Deku in his Vigilante arc. I'm a big fan of those kind of stories. And I think that if Sega really locked in with creating a more darker and serious toned Sonic game, where they kind of give Sonic a story arc like the characters I just mentioned, it would be a great way to bring Dark Sonic into canon. So yeah, tell me what you guys think of Dark Sonic. Do you like the form? Do you hate the form? How would you like for it to come back into canon? Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.